Good afternoon, dear students. In today's class, we are going to see about Unit 1, Ray Optics Theory. Today, I am going to cover the topics Introduction, Basic Structure of Optical fiber communication system, Advantages and Special Features of Optical fiber communication. First, we can see about historical development of optical fiber communication. Optical fiber communication deals with the study of propagation of light through a transparent dielectric waveguide that is usually referred as optical fiber. Here, the optical fiber optics are used for the transmission of data from one point to another point. So in optical fiber, we transmit light as signals. Usually, in optical fiber communication, we use high frequency. So, as to increase frequency, available bandwidth will increase and information capacity will also increase. Here in optical, we have extremely high frequency that is in the range of terahertz. Because of frequency in terms of terahertz, the available bandwidth is very high. This optical fiber communication is going to exist high off in the electromagnetic spectrum in terahertz region. The region is going to be divided into three regions. One is ultraviolet, visible and infrared region. And the spectrum varies from 50 nanometer to 100 micrometer. When we are talking about the fiber optic communication system, we have different generation, and see first generation system, in that we are using gallium arsenide semiconductor technology as a laser and operating system that was in the range of 0.8 micrometer or 800 meter. So if we see other specification, those specifications were bitrate is about 45 megabits per second and repeater spacing was there in the range of 10 kilometer. Then second generation, this was the second generation, and in second generation system, if we compare with the first generation, bitrate was 100 megabits per second and the repeater spacing was increased to 50 kilometers, and at the time wavelength used is optical fiber that was 1.3 micrometer. If you see with the first generation system, the data rate was increasing. In first generation, it was 45 megabits per second. Now it is 100 megabits per second, almost more than double. And if you see the repeater spacing, that is increasing. So cost of the resultant system will decrease. Previously in the first generation, the repeater spacing was 10 kilometer, and now in second generation, the repeater spacing was increased to 50 kilometer. And then system was evolved to third generation. And if you compare the specification of generation, then you will be finding third generation data rate was 10 gigabits per second. That was extremely greater than 100 megabits per second with second generation. And the repeater spacing was in terms of 100 kilometer, and the wavelength that was utilized with the third generation is 1.55 micrometer. So if we observe one thing, as the generation has changed, data rate and repeater spacing that have increased, and in third generation there was a major change. The data rate was about 10 gigabits per second. Previously, it was only about 100 megabits per second in second generation. Now it is 10 gigabits per second. That is far greater than the second generation. We can say of 100 times greater than second generation. Now in fourth generation technology, in India right now we are working with 4G system. And if you see data rate now, it is 10 terabits per second, that is 1000 times better than third generation technology. Then repeater spacing is around 10,000 kilometer, that is far greater than 3G generation. And the wavelength is 1.6 micrometer. In 4G, we use WDM technique. Now in the 5th generation right now in process, and if we observe specification of 5th generation system with optical fiber communication, you will be finding data rate that will be there from 40 terabits per second to 160 terabits per second. It is extremely very high. And if you observe the repeater spacing about 35,000 kilometer, that is extremely large distance, and the wavelength used is 1.5 micrometer. And when we talk about what kind of technique was used in 5G system, you all have doubt, right? In 5G, we are using Raman amplification technique. So based on Raman amplification, people will be using 5G system, and it will be using in optical solitons. So here we are going to see the need of optical fiber communication. Fiber optic communication system has emerged as most important communication system compared to traditional system because of the following requirement. Here, if we see transmission loss, that is essential part in long distance transmission system, there is a need of low loss transmission medium. Second is compact system. So see, there is a need of compact system and least weight transmitter receiver so that we can fabricate and implement those transmitter and receiver at any position. So now we can see a different people's home, people are using Wi-Fi, right? So Wi-Fi is connected with optical fiber at their home. So by using compact system, it is providing a flexibility to use fiber optic communication. Next is the long span. Now see, it is need of increased span of transmission so that we don't need to use repeaters, so that the cost of the system will decrease. And obviously data rate of the system should be as high as possible. And in optical fiber communication, we can observe we have extremely large data rate when compared to the other communication system. Now let us see the basic structure of optical fiber. Already you know optical fiber is made up of silica, and it has 3 different regions. One is core, innermost region. This core is surrounded by a cladding layer, is the outer region, and outermost layer is the buffer or coating or jacket. Core and cladding are the most important for the propagation of light. Of course, the buffer or jacket does not play any role in the propagation of light. In order for a light ray to be properly guided in the core medium, the light source should be coupled or launched into fiber through the tip of the fiber. Generally, the core is made up of glass. It is a cylindrical rod of dielectric material, and the core refractive index is represented as N1 and its radius is represented as A. And as I told you already, light rays mainly propagate through the core of the fiber. Next, coming to the cladding. Cladding is a layer which surrounds the core medium. The refractive index of the cladding is represented as N2, and always the refractive index of the core is, that is N1, is slightly greater than N2, and this region is made up of glass or plastics. Now let us see how N1 is made slightly greater than N2. It is namely because of the addition of dopants like germanium dioxide, phosphorus pentoxide, B2O3 or fluorine. the variation in the refractive index is done. If the refractive index is to be increased, then the dopants like germanium dioxide or phosphorus pentoxide should be added to the silica material. And if the refractive index has to be reduced, then the dopants like B2O3 or fluorine has to be added to the silica material. Now let us see optical fiber are used to communicate the data or signals from one point to another point. Whenever two persons are speaking in a telephone or a mobile phone, those signals are analog signals or any type of signals, maybe a musical signal or audio signal or a digital signal or any type of signal can be transmitted through a optical fiber. So when we are speaking through a telephone, that is an analog signal, this analog signal is converted to an electrical signal and fed to the transmitter. A transmitter which consists of a coder circuit and a light source. So the work of coder circuit is to convert the received electrical signals into a digital pulses of zeros and ones depending upon how the data is. Once the electrical signals are converted to digital pulses, these signals are fed to the light source. So once it enters to the light source, all the digital signals will be converted to a optical pulses. So solely the optical pulses can be transmitted inside the optical fiber. Once when it is converted to an optical pulses, it is transmitted through the optical fiber to the receiver. So at the receiver end, you have a photodetector and a signal restorer. The work of photodetector is to convert the optical signal into electrical signal. So the electrical signal which are detected by the photodetector may be weak. So it has to be amplified. So for the purpose, we are using an amplifier in the receiver. So these amplified signals are converted to a proper digital signal. And now if the output source is digital, then the signal is not changed further. And if the output source is analog, then the digital pulses are converted into an analog signal using the decoder circuit. So this is how an optical fiber is used for the communicating data from one point to another. So you may have doubt that why we are using light source instead of electricity. If you are using a light or laser light used for the optical fiber communication, because of the reason that laser light is a single wavelength source, while the other light signals like sunlight or bulb light have many wavelengths of light. As a result, if we used for communication, they would produce a beam which is very less powerful, and on the other hand, the laser having a single beam would result in a more powerful beam as an output. These are the characteristics of optical fiber. At the starting itself, we have learned these things. So next, we can see the application of optical fiber. So this optical fiber has been used in telephone signal transmission, internet communication, and cable TV signal transmission. This optical fiber have a very impact on the IoT, that is Internet of Things, because of the following reasons: fast transmission medium, data security, and the electromagnetic interference is very less. So hope you may get more idea about this optical fiber, and if you have any doubt, you can ask. Thank you, dear students.